Welcome back to Alter My Closet. I'm Jennifer. Hope you're all doing well today. So, the last couple of days, I attended 2 events in my neck of the woods. And just wanted to say, I met some of the most creative, most interesting people, that I've met in my lifetime. So, I wanted to give a shout out to those people. There are some that went ahead and subscribed to my channel after having a conversation with them, about having YouTube. And just want to encourage those that I met that wants to do, wants to be on YouTube, want to showcase what it is that they're doing, want to showcase their ability, their skills, and just want to encourage them to start, if it's something that you really like. Because as I explained, for me, I remember, in high school, I was in the drama club and everything, but it got to a point where, I, as a, I guess, loner at some point, just didn't want to take pictures or go in front of a camera. I just got to the point where I was conscious of the, my smile and all that. But when I started my YouTube channel, it was getting out of my comfort zone. It was thinking outside of the box for me, because I didn't know that today I would end up with 100+ videos, of just what to do. And I think they're interesting, and I hope you guys think so as well. And I hope I am, helping others out there and inspiring others out there, because, I just think we all learn from each other. And, YouTube, there's the good and the bad, but it's up to, the individual to know what they're looking for and what they want. Because there are some videos that I start watching and click off of, and there are some that I come away thinking, okay, I learned something, I can apply this to my life and all that. So, like I said, I hope that, you stay inspired and stay motivated, okay? And you all, if you're watching, know who you are. And it was a pleasure meeting you guys. So my outfit today is comprised of this lace pants that I showed in a video the other day, where, I believe from what I learned is vintage. And this is a top that I handmade. And this is also a piece that was bought in New York. I'm trying to remember if it was in the fashion district, but yeah, I remember making this a long time ago, and I probably wore it once before. I hooked it up with the lace pants here after going through my drawer and found it, and I just thought the rose here is a very nice accent, give a nice accent to the pants. And so I attended an event today of, women that came together knitting and crocheting. And my daughter has a business called Crochet with Chenille. I did do an interview with her. You may look up and see the interview in my list of videos, but I wanted to wear something that was handmade in part, that if I had a conversation, I could say, hey, yeah, I'm wearing something that I made. And also something, lacy, or something that was up for, like discussion, that blended in with the event. And so I put this together, and this is the back. And so that was my outfit. Anyway, I came across this lady, and I guess because I'm doing vintage on my channel, she popped up on my feed. And so I saw this lady on YouTube that does awesome vintage work. Yeah. And then I questioned myself, like, I wonder if my stuff is vintage. But when it comes on to the age, from what I understand, it is. But the look, not so much. But they did explain, the way the garment is cut, the buttons, stuff like that, can put it in the category of being vintage. So, yeah. But then the look is more like, when you think of vintage, you're thinking something more like this. So, yeah. I love this kind of look, flowy and all that. But with this, after washing it, it shrunk. So, it's a little bit short. I could probably still wear it with a camisole like this under it. But the YouTuber that I was watching, she did so many upcycling with clothing she bought from the thrift store, and just beautiful. So I am thinking of doing a little addition to this piece to where the length can be longer, maybe about 2-3 inches, maybe more. But I want it to maybe about here. So I'm going to try to lengthen this. So I looked around my house because the YouTuber, she got bed sheets, curtains, doilies, all different, lacy stuff that she used to make her addition pieces to her clothing. And they just came out really, really nice. So as I was looking around my house, I could not find any lacy curtain or anything like that. I believe there's one somewhere around, but I didn't come across it yet. Then I found a yellow dress that I got from a friend, and it's a very long dress, and it has gathers at the bottom, but it's yellow. I thought about maybe cutting the tail of it off and bleaching it for it to become white, and then use it, to add to this top here. And then I looked a little bit further and found this bedspread that my mom had from New York. Oh my gosh. So my mom had this bedspread since we lived in New York. So this is one of those vintage things, and this here has lace. So I started pulling off the lace here, and so I'm going to see what I can get off of this. And I know I'll have to, probably make a couple of rolls on this in order to get it longer. So I'm going to work on that and see what I come up with. So I completed taking off the lace from off the bedspread, and this is the amount of lace that I got from that. That is a lot. So I just rolled it up. That's what it looks like. See, guys, so you never know what you'll find in your home, what can be used. That's a bedspread that, it's old, but I keep it like they would come in handy if, I'm moving and need to wrap, breakable items. So that's why I keep those bedspread. So this is the top, like I showed you before. That's what the sleeves look like. And what I'm going to do is to use that on the edge of the blouse. See how that turns out. So I'll put it on like that. Can you see it? All right, I'm going to work on it and I'll show you the finished product. So what I've done here so far is to fold the lace over and sew on top of the blouse. So I've done one row so far and I'm doing a second one here. So you'll see the fold of the lace right there. And so I'll be going around the first, the edge of the first lace that was already placed to make 2 rows of the lace. So technically I am pleating my lace and I'm doing about an inch apart in pleating and just going around the top, the first row of lace that I did. I'm just making a second row. I've come back around to the end where I started. So what I'm going to do is to remove this here, cut my thread, and see how much I'm going to need because I'm going to stitch these together. So I'm going to cut to about here. And I can't believe I used up all the lace that I removed from the bedspread. I only have this little piece left. Thought it would be more, but I'm going to sew the 2 edges here together and then go ahead and finish this up. So after joining the edges right here, I have a little hole here. I'm going to just go ahead and finish that up, sewing it on top here. Do my reverse, and then I'm done there. The last little piece of lace that I have, I'm gonna go ahead and sew it on the neck of the blouse just to make use of it. Right here I folded it so that it will lay flat in the right curves here. So I'm gonna fold it so it lays flat and then just come around here to the other side. Okay, so I can just use up the rest of the lace and make a little style. So I'm doing a straight stitch right here in this stitch that's already there on the piping of the blouse. And then I'll also go ahead and sew this part here where I made that little fold, just to give it a flat look so it will stay down. Okay, that's the look. Let me try it on and see what it looks like. So before I do the try on of the blouse, I wanted to show you this, what I'm wearing. And I did some alteration to this. It was a dress, like an altar top dress. And it had a big lining underneath. So what I did was just to cut away some of the lining, if you can see, maybe to right here, because it was all the way down, you know, like dragging on the ground. But I do love the color. I love the color yellow, especially during the summertime. All right, so like I said, I cut the top off, made it into a skirt, and have this lacy blouse, you know, from way back when. And I wanted to see how it looks with the blouse. I'm tempted to make some pockets in this. That would be nice. So it's two different shades of yellow, but you know, think it looks okay together. So I'm matching it up with this necklace here, bracelet. This is a nice, what is that, like an eagle. And these earrings. All right. So yeah, I just wanted to see how that looks. Got my heels on, sandal type heels. And so I'll try that blouse and see what it looks like with the skirt. All right, so this is the look. My lighting is a little bit off. All right, so this is the lacy part that I sew on the top here and gave it a little stitch right here so it lays flat. I added 2 rows of the lace from the edge of the bedspread that I showed. And then I'm matching it with this yellow skirt here that I altered. So let me know your thoughts and your comments. Let's see if I open this up, give it a different look. Trying to see what it looks like without the bow in the front. All right. So let me hear your comments, guys. You know, to start, this top here, a trunk, and so I just wanted to give some length to it. And just to recap, what I did was to find some lace on a bedspread that you know, was my mom's years ago. And so I took off the lace that was on the edge of the spread and just used it. So this is all of it that I used up today. I thought I'd have some more left. It just looked like it was a lot, but it really wasn't. It was just enough to do 2 rows and, you know, just to add this little piece here in the front of the blouse. Nice, flowy. All right, thank you guys for watching, and you will see me on the next video.